Hey everybody, it's me, 7th Hanuman. If you've been following my channel, you know that I always teach you guys that everybody is a TI. I talked about how everyone on this planet are TIs. And there are the true TIs, which is you and I. We are people that are more aware of what's happening. And this video clip I'm about to show you is a perfect example of my claim. So I claim everyone in the world is a TI. So you see this image right now in this video clip. There's all these people sitting at a dinner banquet. So imagine all the people, it's just people in the world. They're all TIs. And the true TI will be this lady in this video clip as I play it. Here we go.
Name a number between 1 and 59 now. 30. That's not it. Name a number between 1 and 59 now. 21. 21! Very good.
Notice how she picked her first number, but it wasn't the number the magician wanted? That's because she was able to reject the lower voice to skull telling her or showing her the number 21. See, she had the ability to reject the lower voice to skull, and instead of saying 21, she said 33 or something like that. And the magician said, nope, that's not it, and asked her the same question again. The second time around, she picked 21. Notice how it took 2 attempts for it to work? That is because she's a true TI. While everybody else who went along in the first attempt are just regular TIs. I hope that made sense to what my claim have been this entire time, which is the entire world are all TIs. Except for the true TI, which is you and I, whom are going through gang stalking. Now, this is also the reason, the perfect example of a reason why some of you TIs out there feel like your friends and family and loved ones are always going against you. That is because they are a TI and they are listening to the lower voice to skull. And the lower voice to skull is telling them to say things back to you that are the opposite of what you want to hear. Or say things back to you, may you believe and feel like they don't understand you. Or they say things back to you, may you feel like you are mentally ill or you're wrong and you need to go seek help. When you know nothing is wrong with you, when you know something else is happening. That's because you're a true TI and you have the awareness. And your family member and friends and loved one are just a TI. Not saying they're bad people, it's just they don't know what's happening. And not saying they're always under control. It's just during situations when you try to seek some help or seek some reassurance that you're not crazy, just so happen they seem to be having difficulty understanding you. That's because they're listening to the lower voice to skull. That's when the lower voice to skull kicks in and make them say things to you that is completely the opposite of what you're hoping to hear from your family and loved ones. With that being said, don't hate on your family and your friends and your loved ones. They do sincerely want you to get better, but it's just they don't know what's happening. So in this video, I will show you how these gang stalkers, these entities, can induce thoughts and ideas into anyone's mind. Not just us true TIs, but anybody's mind. And how they have the power to manipulate the environment. So I hope you enjoy this video. Here we go.
There is this magic trick out there. It's where the magician will pick 6 people, 6 audience, randomly 6 audience. And these audience will each call out a number. And once all 6 numbers are called out, the magician will pull out a lottery ticket. And this lottery ticket will have the exact same matching number. Now, this is a very advanced, very mysterious, and one of those unbelievable type of magic. It's not just little kids, playing card tricks or making coins disappear. This is one of those magic that just makes people wonder, how is it possible? I'll tell you how it's possible. The magician needs the gang stalkers. Now think about it. What have I always taught you? The gang stalkers can see what you see. The gang stalkers knows what you're thinking. The gang stalkers can induce dreams and thoughts. The gang stalkers can use voice to skull and lower voice to skull. So the magician got the numbers. And when the audience are picked out, what the gang stalker do now is directly induce a number into the audience's head. That's the exact number that's in the lottery ticket. On the lottery ticket.
I want to say I'm sorry for the echo. Please don't mind the echo. Now, with this clip, I will show you the actual performance of that trick. And you will understand what I'm talking about as you watch this performance.
I am good enough to take just a few people, and show them something they will never, ever, ever be able to just dismiss as a magic trick. Before we do anything, I'm going to put my wallet on this stool. I just want you to see that it's out in the open from the beginning. I'll get back to it in a minute. I need to pick some random people out of the audience. If I were to go down into the audience and ask people to help, the obvious solution would be that I'd set this up with someone. So I'm going to crumple up an old poster. I'm going to turn around and throw this over my shoulder. If it comes to you, I want you to just catch it and stand up. Fair? All right. Pick it up, stand up. I'd like you to stay standing, throw it again. Whoever catches it, would you please, sir, would you stand up? Would you throw it again? Would you stay standing? Throw it over again, yeah. That's 1, 2, 3, we have 4. Would you kick it over so everybody can hear? Just throw it again, but bring it back so everybody can see what's going on. Yeah, if you catch it, yep, would you stand up? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need one more person. Would you just throw it behind you? All right, would you stand up as well? All right. For everyone that's standing, I want you to just think of a number that's somewhere between 1 and 50. The only rule is you can't use a number that someone else has already said. So if someone else uses your number, I want you to just think of a new one. Is that fair? All right, so I'm going to start down here. What's the number that you thought of?
27.
27. All right, I want everyone around here to just remember 27. What's your number?
39.
39. So we have 27, 39. What's your number? 13. So we have 27, 39, 13. Sir, what's your name? Austin, what's your number? 4. Next number is 4. Fifth number. What's your name? Brooke. Number between 1 and 50. What is it? 22. All right, and the last number, sir. What number would you like? 2. Last number is 2. Okay. If you want to think of this as a trick, that is certainly your prerogative. But I would just say that you would agree there's no way I could have set this up like in this massive paper ball throwing conspiracy. There's no way I could have controlled where the ball was thrown or what numbers were said, right? All of you, can you just agree that we've never met before? This isn't all a setup, right? If you want to think of this as a coincidence, that's fine as well. But the odds of this working by chance alone are in the trillions. Doesn't matter. I mean, I don't care how you think about this. The point is that something extraordinary has happened. What's your name, sir? Chad. Would you join me on stage for a minute? Round of applause for Chad. Chad, say hello.
Hello.
Okay. Chad, what was your last number was 2?
2.
So here's the thing. Inside, my wallet's been sitting here the entire time, right? Okay. In my wallet, I want you to just see this. There's a lottery ticket, right? Now, it's not a winning lottery ticket. It didn't win or anything. But I think you'll find the numbers on it really interesting. Would you just read those out loud so everybody can hear them?
27, 39, 13, 4, 22, and 2.
Now this is where it gets dangerous. In a second.
Now, what you saw there was right before the audience call out their number. The moment before they call out the number, okay, they're going through the thinking process. That 10th of a second, that moment, the gang stalkers induce the actual number into the person's head using lower voice to skull. And the person will just see the number maybe just flash real fast in their mind. Some whom are have less awareness won't even see a flash. They'll just end up saying it. Okay, they'll just say it because the lower voice to skull, it's telling him or her the number, and the person will just say it, kind of like a reaction thing. It's like one of those reflexes, just a reaction, just saying it. And that's how the number is being picked. Now, I have an idea, I have my own method to counter that. And my way of countering it is to just basically reach into your pocket, grab a handful of change, pull it out and count the change, and then use that as your number. Because that is a natural method. It's more randomized. It's a natural way of picking a number instead of trying to think of a number. Because when you try to think of a number in that situation, most likely it's the lower voice is called telling you. Because you're under pressure, you feel like calling out a number as fast as you can. But, or you could just take it slowly. Just don't call out the number yet. Just stand there for a few seconds and naturally listen through all the number you're receiving. You can probably tell that there are many sources of information being beamed to your mind with many different numbers for you to pick. So why pick any of them when you can just reach into your pocket, grab out a handful of change and count the change and use that as a number? That's probably the most randomized way of picking a number. That is something I did to my gang stalker in the past to basically, I use it as a method to call their bluffs. But I'm going to explain this in another video, but that's one method I would use.
Larissa's going to turn her back and she's going to take that ball and she's going to throw it over her shoulder. Whoever catches it, I'm going to ask you to stand up. You ready? Larissa, on the count of 3, I want you to throw that ball over your shoulder. 1, 2, 3. Do it now. All right, whoever catches it. Perfect. All right. Notice how far it went. Sir, if you don't mind, can you stand up, please? And what's your name? Jim, I said this lottery was going to be left to influence. I am going to attempt to influence you. Jim, put your hands to your sides. Perfect. Very good. All right, Jim, I want you to, do you have any pets? What kind? What's the dog's name? Name a number between 1 and 59 now. 49. The number 49. Jim, you can have a seat. Thank you very much for this round of applause. I'd like you to take that ball and I'd like you to give it a chuck in any direction. It's completely up to you. Chuck it over your shoulder. Perfect. The closest person to it, grab it and stand up. Thank you. Man, in a loud, clear voice, what's your name? I'm sorry? Kathy! Kathy, how did you get here tonight? Did you drive or were you driven? Name a number between 1 and 59 now. That's not it. Name a number between 1 and 59 now.
21.
21! Very good.
So Kathy in the audience, she's a true TI. I don't know if she actually is going through gang stalking or what TIs are going, as true TIs are going through, but she shows the ability to not listen to the lower voice to skull. And that's what all true TIs can do. Like you and I, we have the ability to not listen to the lower voice to skull because we know something else is going on. And once you recognize the lower voice to skull, you're going to realize that your whole life, many decisions that you made, usually the bad ones, it's because the lower voice to skull influenced you. And you need to thank God that you're still here, living, surviving, and kicking. And there's going to be a bigger purpose for you, for true TIs, in a good way for society. Not hurting people, not killing people, not destroying things, but to actually create, help, build, love, and compassion, and teaching others what's going on.
21. Okay. Go ahead and do that. Take that and throw it either direction. It's completely up to you. Perfect. Give her a big round of applause. Have a seat. Sir, stand up, please. We're going to speed things along here. Sir, do you have any children? I do. How many? Name a number between 1 and 59. 37. 37? 37. You sure? Okay. Throw that. Give him a big round of applause. Who got it? Stand up quickly. Loud, clear. Oh, loud, clear voice. What's your name? Teresa. Name a number between 1 and 59. 17. All right, Teresa, give it another throw. We're going to go for 2 more numbers. Give her a round of applause as she sits down. Very good. Oh, we got a good one. Man, stand up. In a loud, clear voice, what's your name? Alicia. Alicia. You don't have to say this out loud, but I want you just to think. What color underwear are you wearing? Alicia, just so you know, this has nothing to do with the trick. I'm just curious. Alicia, name a number between 1 and 59. 5. Give Alicia a big round of applause. What was the color? Let's give one more round of applause for all of our volunteers. You can have a seat, Alicia. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, when I said tonight we were going to play a version of the lottery, a version of the lottery that does not involve chance, a version of the lottery that involves influence. It may not seem like it, but I attempted to influence each randomly selected person here tonight. Now there's 1 number left. Each lottery has 6 numbers. The last number is known as the Powerball number. The rest of you have been very helpful the entire time, and you can confirm that you and I haven't set anything up. But yes? I would like, Mark volunteered you. I'd like you to name a number, the Powerball number, a number between 1 and 59 now. Just name it out loud. That's not approved.
33, like the Christ stage when he died.
33, okay. It's got some meaning to it. Very good. Ladies and gentlemen, do we all agree that these numbers are completely random and there's no way that this could have been predicted? Yes? I'm going to call your attention to a box that I have had on stage the entire time. Inside that box is a real lottery ticket. Excuse me, I'm going to go get it now. Larissa, I'd like you to look inside and tell everybody what's in there. Show it to everybody, a folded lottery ticket. Is that in fact, I'll take the paper clip off. Larissa, can you take a look at it and confirm that it is in fact a real New Jersey State Lottery ticket? Larissa, I would like you to stand by the microphone and call the numbers one at a time. If a number that she calls is found on this pad, I will cross it off. If all 6 numbers are on this pad, ladies and gentlemen, we have a miracle. And I predict that this audience will erupt into a thunderous round of applause resembling that of a circus. I can just tell. Here we go. Larissa, the microphone is yours. The first number, please.
5,
The number 5.
17,
The number 17.
21,
The number 21.
37,
The number 37. The
49.
number 49 now.
No,
Larissa,
it's 33.
Larissa, the Powerball number is
33.
33.
Now I have to let you guys know, this magician is a true TI. This magician right here. But the way his experience are, it's not like us going through gang stalking. His relationship with this entity is actually different than the way us true TI have a relationship with the gang stalkers. For whatever reason, the entity is helping him do these magic tricks, as well, this specific magic trick. Because without the entity helping him, he will not be able to perform this specific magic trick. So, if this is his greatest act in all of his magic, in his books, then his greatest act is only as good as long as the entity is willing to help him. And that's what happens, I feel like, with a lot of magicians. They will eventually stop doing these type of tricks because maybe for one reason or another got into a disagreement with these entities or whatever. But their performance is solely based on the cooperation of the entities. So if the entities do not want to help, then that is over. So in a way, is this magician's career of doing these type of magic is at the mercy of these entities. And I can confidently say the magician is communicating with the entity through voice to skull. That is how they communicate. Because you true TIs out there whom are receiving voice to skull, you know it's practically like a conversation. Just like any conversation, loud and clear. Well, if you think about it, if you're not hating gang stalking, you actually have a different relationship with the entities, you wouldn't be as stressed. And the dynamic would be different. But yet, you wouldn't see the entity for its true face, for its true evilness. That's why I always advise you guys, don't trust the gang stalkers. Now, I know some of you out there watching this, you might start to have this urge of like, oh, is it possible to get my gang stalkers to do things for me? Yeah, they can actually do a lot of things. But just know, you'll most likely lose your soul over it. It might sound kind of crazy and all, or it sounds like something you're not used to hearing, but That's what my gang stalkers like to talk about a lot, soul. And I wouldn't be surprised these magicians made a deal with the entities in exchange for something that's so temporary. When it comes to the afterlife, their soul could be trapped for eternity. I don't know how true that is, but if you look into the history books, a lot of cultures talk about stuff like that. So it's something that's been mentioned throughout the ages, and I would give it more credit than discredit. So be careful, you TIs out there. Don't be fooled.
If a magician can pull that trick with the cooperation of the gang stalkers, that means you can actually have your own show in Vegas. That means you can sell out. That is your main tricks. You know, pull 6 audience, have a lotto ticket matching the number that they call out. Yeah. There you go. That's millions of dollars right there. You can actually have your own show in Vegas. Then what? The gang stalker owns that magician. Because the magician's main attraction is the lottery trick. And the lottery trick is not possible without the gang stalker's help. So once the magician gets all the fame and publicity and all the attractions, and the gang stalker decided one day, nope, we're not going to help you unless you do this, unless you do that, unless you go and make this happen. How do you think that's going to turn out? It's not worth it. Don't be fooled. Shimon. Signing out.